Good evening, everybody. I just finished watching Yesterday with a friend of mine. And so, if you're planning to watch the movie yesterday, it's probably best not to watch this video because I am going to do spoilers because I am going to talk about the end of the movie. The reason I wanted to talk about it is because ever since I've been learning about attachments, I haven't really felt like so moved by romantic movies as much because I do see the dysfunctionality behind it and they romanticize almost unhealthiness in a lot of ways. Um, so the reason I had a problem with I liked the movie yesterday, and overall the love story was cute. But I think what I wasn't a fan of is this whole idea of okay, so she finally lets him know that she has liked him for like the past 20 years of their life and never said anything. And he was oblivious, apparently, to the fact that she was interested in him. And it wasn't until she finally said that she was into him that he was like, oh, and that's right when everything was changing, where like, where he was getting big and so he was gonna leave. And so it's kind of an interesting thing. I'm like, I wonder what attachment that is. To only proclaim your love to somebody once you know nothing's gonna happen. Is that like I feel like it's an avoidant kind of version, especially when finally she goes over there to Liverpool where he was visiting, and like they spend time together and then they're like about to make out or whatever. And the minute he's like kissing her, then she freaks out. And she's like, oh, this is going to be just a one night stand and da 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 da, and I'm going to leave. And it's kind of like the minute they got close, she pushes away. And so it's kind of an interesting dynamic of like, she only waits until he's leaving to tell him anything. Then when he finally reciprocates, then she freaks out and says, oh no, like you're leaving anyway. And she went over there knowing for a fact that he was going to be leaving. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like, did you really want something to happen? Because you're telling him at the most inopportune times your feelings. Then he tells her in the most inopportune time his feelings. He proclaims it in front of the world, which is fine. That's such a romantic gesture if she wasn't dating somebody. So she had called him to tell him that she was finally dating this guy, a mutual friend of theirs. And sorry, I got my nose is going haywire. A mutual friend of theirs who had helped him out in his career in the beginning. So he's making this grand proclamation of love while the boyfriend's out there in the crowd listening to this whole thing. And I'm like, how disrespectful. Like, super disrespectful. Yes, it's amazing that you guys love each other, but like, I think I'm not a fan of how movies romanticize, like really treating guys that haven't, or girls that haven't done anything wrong, as if they're dispensable people, as if they don't have any emotions. And they always write it in such a way that everything's okay, right? So the boyfriend comes after the show and is like, oh yeah, I've always known I'm number 2. Like, dude, if you, like, whoa, you dated this girl knowing you were number 2 in her eyes? Like, dude, have some self-respect. Like, why would you want to be the second choice of somebody? Don't you want to be the first choice of somebody? Like, what? Like, that whole romanticizing of like, oh, I knew she was settling for me, and now that she knows she can have you, I'm willing to step aside. Like, seriously, have some self-respect. So I was not a fan of that. And obviously they had to make it all okay to make it like soften the blow of really what this dude did, which was totally disrespect this guy who hadn't done anything wrong and was actually loving the girl that he should have just, I don't know, made a decision on earlier on in life instead of whatever, right? So I'm so sorry. This is so annoying that I'm sniffling this whole video, but I'm feeling what I'm saying, so I'm just going to keep it going. Then um, what ends up happening is that there's this random girl, I guess they're just friends, but they pan over to her. And obviously what they're trying to say is like, oh, don't worry. Yeah, this guy just got his heart broken because this other guy just made a proclamation of love to this girl who's his girlfriend. But don't worry, there's another girl in the wings ready to take him over, and everything's going to be okay. Look, that's dysfunctional. Like, I mean, that I don't like how that's romanticized. It's kind of like the same way with The Notebook. I was not a fan of The Notebook in the sense of like there was a lot of dysfunctionality with The Notebook. And I mean I liked it, but I didn't like it. I didn't like it because he almost forced her to go on a date with him by threatening suicide. Like, that's not cool. That's not cool. And then she cheated on her fiance with him. Like, okay, break off the engagement first. Why are you going to why do we romanticize like, oh, because they love each other, let's totally disregard the dude that has been faithful and loving and caring towards her this whole time because that's not her real love. Like, then why are you wasting his time? You should have broken up a long time ago. I hate, like, if in your heart of hearts you feel like this person is second best to you, that you would not choose them, but because your first choice is gone and your first choice, like, unless you can look at that person and go, even if the person that I thought I was into becomes available, I would never choose to leave you because I'm not using you as a rebound. I'm not using you as a second choice. You are the person I want to be with. I think that is what I have a problem with. It's like I have a problem with movies where the person is like a stopgap. Which comes back to me. Maybe I don't like it so much because I have felt like a stopgap in a lot of the relationships I've had. I've even verbalized it. I remember my last boyfriend, who I met years ago. Not the guy I was interested in, because obviously we didn't end up dating. But I said to him, you know what? I know I'm just here until, like, you're going to be a better man for the actual person that you end up being with. I really felt like a stopgap there. But he was a stopgap for me too. Because I think I knew in a lot of ways that he was not going to be it. Even though there's all this rush of emotions and all this stuff. But I knew he wasn't going to be it. It was too unhealthy. There was so much unhealthiness in that. So I guess I'm just done with that narrative. Oh, so sorry, you guys. I hate sniffling, and I'm like sniffling like a storm in this video. But I'm done with that narrative. My friend says, you know, Phoebe, you do deserve more. You know that, right? My friends say that to me a lot. Phoebe, you deserve more. I don't know if I deserve more. And I mean, I get what they're saying. I'm not asking for anything grandeur. I'm asking for reciprocation. Like, I'm asking for somebody who's in when I'm in, and when he's in, I'm in. Like that mutuality. I think for a really long time, probably because of my attachment style, I have romanticized this idea of always suffering, of this one-sided kind of thing. It's been comfortable for me. It's the route I've always gone. And I don't think I consciously have done that, but it's always ended up the same way. So if it's ended up the same way and it's been with different people, then that says that pattern comes from me. That's the pattern that I'm trying to break. That's the attachment thing that I'm trying to learn in my therapy session next week to figure out, like, yeah, let's not do that anymore. There's no fun in that. And I don't know if I'm into romantic movies the way I was, because, like, I feel like romantic movies romanticize dysfunctionality. They romanticize a struggle, right? Like, struggle is in relationships, no matter what. You can't get away with that. I mean, get away from that. But this idea, like, that when a person pushes away, that the person rushes back to them. You know, I think about him right now, the person I was interested, or I am interested in, or was interested in. I still am interested. I care about him. But I'm like, I'm not going to do that. Like, I'm not going to repeat this cycle. Like, if he wants to be in, I'm in. But the reality is, he said he's out. So I'm out. Like, I'm not going to do this to myself again. You know, I'm just going to grow. I'm going to go on. And if by God's design, we encounter each other again, and he is in a better spot in his life where he's ready, and I'm in a better spot in my life where I'm ready, then maybe we got a shot. But we don't have a shot right now. You know, I'm trying to retain a friendship with him. And he's responsive when he wants to be responsive, right? Like, he's being polite. But I mean, I just want to feel like my friend is my friend. Like, a friend, it doesn't have to be complicated. A friend should reach out as well. Like, romantic relationships are still relationships. Friendships are still relationships. So even if he's not interested in me romantically, like, I still feel like I would like to see like my friend actually reach out once in a while and whatnot. But but at the same time, it's like, you don't know what that person needs, and or if friendship is too difficult right now for him, or maybe even just knowing that maybe I'm just fooling myself and I'm thinking like, oh, I can totally be friends with this person, but it's still, there's a lot of emotions there because I'm still interested in him, and maybe he can feel that and he can sense that. But all I know is I don't want to do that again. Like, it makes me feel like I do deserve better. Not, and when I say I deserve better, I mean I deserve someone who is in. But I need to be in with him too. And so I never want somebody to ever feel like they're second best in my eyes. I don't want anyone to ever feel like I've chosen them simply because they're there. And I don't want to be chosen because I'm there as well. Like, I want to be chosen and I want to choose someone because I want to be with them. And there isn't somebody waiting in the wings in my mind. I'm not waiting for something else that's better, because to me that they are who I want to be with. And I just, yeah, so I'm not a fan of those movies, right? I'm not a fan of somebody who's genuinely in love with the person, hasn't worked through those emotions, but goes and finds another person to fill in, be a stopgap until they know for a fact that it's a no. Like work out that emotion first. Know for a fact that is you've closed that door. Because if that person tries to walk back in and you haven't resolved it, you're going to be that jerk that goes, oh, I really was in love with this person this whole time and da-da-da-da. No, don't do that. It's rude. It's just rude. But anyways, that's just my thoughts. So sorry if I ruined yesterday for you.